You ever walk into a room just oozing with confidence, and then life just
Come on, wake up!
Yeah, I know the feeling, but you know what? That's okay, because I'm here to teach you 2 new game changers. So welcome to the Chasing and Raining Strikes.
Get the better of you.
Alright, let's start this bitch off with the Chasing Strikes. So the Chasing Strikes is an attack performed by pressing the left analog stick down or away from your enemy and then towards them, followed by the square button. This leaves the enemy in the push state, and then if you press square directly after you push them, it'll follow up with the flurry of attacks. Beautiful. Let's see how Fajar the botanist performs. Yeah, he doesn't even know what's going on. So I will admit, while this attack is very beautiful, it's kind of hard to pull off with the bosses, because you will find that if you don't get them in that push state, they will attack immediately after. So I would suggest, if you're trying to do this and do get blocked, rather press L1 and block immediately so that you can get the perfect parry off. But if you do manage to get the attack off, you will be doing a lot of damage, including structural damage, to your enemy. Now onto Sean. So Sean kind of suffers the same fate as Fajar. You will find that a lot of the time, if you manage to dodge or parry his attacks, you will be able to get the push state off and then followed by the Chasing Strikes, which is beautiful when it lands. I will admit, if you push him, it's not 100% that you will get the flurry of attacks afterwards, because he does block, but the nice thing is that it is doing a lot of structure damage to him. So a positive for this attack is that you will be doing dual damage, so structure and HP damage. The downside is that you will most likely not always get this in a group, so I wouldn't say use it when you're in a group setting. Now onto the Raining Strikes. So the Raining Strikes is performed by pressing triangle, waiting like half a second, and then pressing triangle again to unleash another flurry of attacks. I will admit, while it's not as beautiful looking as the Chasing Strikes, the Raining Strikes is actually much easier to perform, because you won't need to have an enemy in the push state. Plus, if you manage to get the first triangle off, or even if you don't, pressing triangle the second time will still perform the attacks. So let's say you plan to use this attack against the botanist. It actually performs pretty damn well. If you manage to get the first triangle off, you will usually get, actually you will definitely get the successful flurry of attacks, but you will find that sometimes he will block them, or he will I'm sorry, but when he actually dodges them is when it looks the most beautiful. So as for Sean, now Sean doesn't have the speed of Fajar, which is understandable because he's a big guy. So if you manage to get the first triangle off, the second triangle will definitely hit him, but he does have the capability to block it. But the nice thing about these attacks is that even though if the boss does, block it, you will still be doing a lot of structural damage to them, which is actually perfect if you're trying to go for the true ending, which is where you need to break an opponent's structure twice and then spare them at the end. So I've actually used this and the Chasing Strikes a lot when I was actually going for that ending, so I suggest that you use it too. Now you're probably wondering, how does this perform against Kuroki? Well, you see, the thing about Kuroki is that to beat her, you need